So, you want to learn how to make GFXs like this and this and this? Well, I got you. This is going to be a simple GFX tutorial. I'm going to show you the basics of how I do this. Now, you don't need to do this exactly how I do it in this video. This is just personal preference, and this is how I do it. But you can do it however you want to do it. I'm going to include everything in the description below. This includes rigs, brushes, Photoshop, Photopea, Blender, everything that you need basically. So once you have all of that downloaded, we can begin. First things first, what you're going to do is you're going to open up a fresh new page of Roblox Studio. You're going to click on new base plate and you'll be directed here. So now that you opened up a new base plate, this is all you're going to see. You're going to see your spawn, you can take that out, and on the top where it says plugins, you're going to click on that and you're going to find your load character plugin. This will be in the description below. Click on it, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to type in my username, and always make sure that spawn at origin is checked. Also, make sure you choose R6 because if you choose R15, then it's going to look messed up in Blender. And sometimes your character may look like this. So what I like to do is I like to go to the little sidebar on the left, and then I like to fix the positioning of my character, and there you go. So all you got to do now is go into your Explorer, right click on your model, and click on Export Selection. I recommend you make a folder. I'm just gonna call it me for the sake of the video, so you can name it whatever you want. After you're done with that, save it and close out of Roblox Studio. Next, you're going to open up Blender, and you're gonna get rid of all this because you don't need it. Next, if you watched the video on how to install the rig in the description below, you should have the rig already set up in Blender. So click on the sidebar arrow, and then click on Starter Rigs, and for this one, I'm gonna choose the blocky rig. So now that we got the rig set up, we can go over to the shading tab, and you will be greeted with this. Click on the head, and on the bottom of your screen, you should see the shader editor. So now we're going to import our texture. Make sure you see main texture, click on X, and click on open. Find the folder you exported your avatar from, and there you have it. You imported the texture, and now you're ready for the next step. So go back to layout. Once you're back in layout, you're gonna click the arrow in the corner, and you're gonna click on texture. That way you'll see your texture, and you can use viewport shading mode. I just prefer having it on material preview because it just makes things more easier for me. So now we need to import our avatar. So go to file, click on import, and make sure you select wavefront OBJ. Find the folder that you saved your avatar in, and make sure you always select split by group. After you imported your avatar, on your screen there should be an input that you should set. So click on G, X, and then -5, and that should move your character to the right. Once you do that, select all the body parts and delete them. And if you're wearing a mask, don't forget to delete the head. Now that that's done, we need to parent all the hats together. To do this for the head, make sure you hold down Shift and select all the hats for the head. And on your keyboard, make sure you click G, X, and then 5. This will reposition all the hats for the head back in place. Do the same for all the other accessories too. G, X, and 5, and this will place everything back in origin. What you want to do next is make sure you go into pose mode by selecting tab on your keyboard, select the hat, and then the head bone. And then click Control P on your keyboard, and click on bone. And the hat should be parented to the head, and it should look like this. Now that that's done, select the necklace. If you got a necklace on your character, select the upper torso, click Control P, and click on bone again. And your character should move just like this. And if you got anything on your back, make sure you do the same for the back. Hold Shift, click on the accessory, and then click on the upper torso, and then click bone. And the back should be parented to the upper torso as well. Why was I doing this during the recording? What the fuck? Now that you got everything parented together, all you need to do now is pose your character. I'm gonna give mine a little pose, so I'll be back. No, you are not reading the title card wrong. This thing took me 4 hours to fucking pose, alright, man? This shit ain't easy. And for a simple fucking pose, too, it's insane! Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Oh, fuck. File, append, and then you're going to find the Lightroom that you saved it in. Then you're going to want to go to Object and double click on it. Then you should see everything in here. So make sure you select everything and go on ahead and import. So this should be the Lightroom. Also, when you're going to import the image, make sure you send your render engine to cycles. Yes, you can also modify the color of the lights too. I'm going to change this to a different color right here. I'm going to select white because I want to make sure that the lighting matches on the render. You don't need to do what I'm doing. This is all just personal preference in the end. Also, don't forget to select that little TV in the corner and click on film and make sure that you select transparent so when you edit it, there won't be any background. Because for some reason, I couldn't find the transparent button. I had to re-render the same image over and over and over again. God! What you want to do next is go to the top, click on render, and click on render image. This may take 2 minutes or more depending on your PC. So once the image is done rendering, you can exit out of Blender now. But before you leave Blender, you want to make sure you click on image and then save as. And you can save the image anywhere. So once that's done, you can now enter Photoshop or Photopea. These are my settings for when I open up a new template on Photoshop, but you can do something different too. Once that's done, you can drag and drop your avatar into the template. You can resize it too as well. So now we can begin the editing process. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I prefer that you develop your own style, but this is just what I do since I started doing GFXs again a few weeks back. So you can do your own style. This is just how I do it normally. What I like to do is spread a little bit of the clouds out into every corner. You can do whatever colors you want. I just do the colors based on the avatar or what I'm feeling. So this is just what I normally do. Just make sure I cover the canvas with clouds and all that everywhere. Not a specific kind of method that I use, it's just what I normally do. You can do it any other way too. I just prefer to do it this way because it's more easier for me. I'm just gonna pick another brush now. Just going to fix the size. And you can do this with any other brush too. You can use any brush. It doesn't have to specifically be what I'm doing. But what I also like doing is making sure that I got every corner of the canvas covered. Just like that. Doesn't have to be specific either. You can do whatever the hell you want. In the end, it's your GFX. So you do whatever you want with it. Also, sorry if you see me zooming in and out a lot. This is just how I prefer to spread the brushes all over the canvas, just without having to modify the size a lot. So just keep going. Keep putting on whatever you want to add on. And once you feel like you're done, you can add your effects to it. What I like to do is I like to go here, click on blur, and I like to give it a little motion blur instead of a radial blur because it just looks a bit better to me, to my eyes. So once that's done, I'm going to drag the layer down and then my character's going to show up. So now I'm going to edit my character. I'm going to go on to image, adjustments, and modify the brightness and contrast just like that. This may vary as to how bright or how dark your character may be, so just keep that in mind. So once you got that sorted, you're going to right click and click on blending options. This will take you to this page right here, and I'm just going to edit it further. Personally, I like giving it a little stroke. A little stroke. Why did I say it like that? That sounds horribly worded. I'm editing that out. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to give it a little lighter red, just like that. Then I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to change the blending style. You can do this however you want. You can choose whatever blending mode you want. I'm just going to change the opacity here and then the size. Again, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing in this video, so you can do whatever you want to do. Then I'm going to give it an inner glow. I'm going to change the color of the inner glow to a really bright red. Maybe a little brighter. Then I'm going to give it a little color overlay. I'm going to change this to red as well. I'm going to make sure that it's not too red, by the way, so I'm going to change the opacity. Then I'm going to give it an outer glow. I'm going to change that glow to red. Like I said, you can change the color to whatever is suitable for you or whatever's suitable for the avatar. So once that's done, click OK and add another layer, and you can finish editing from there. Now watch the process. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. I just like doing this. Me personally, I prefer to pick out the brush that I think will suit perfectly for the job. You can do any brush. At the end of the day, like I said, this is all personal preference. You can do this how you want to do it. In any way you want to do it, you can do it. I'm just going to speed up the video a little bit just so you can see the editing process. And yeah, that's about it. This is how I do my GFXs, and hopefully this video can inspire you to make your own GFXs. I probably may do a speed design in the future, so you may want to click that subscribe button down below. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Go make your GFXs, make them look good as you please, and don't forget, this is your work, you do what you want to do. And if people don't like your work or what you're doing, then fuck whatever they gotta say. You do you, you keep improving, and I'm guaranteeing you, you will be making really good GFXs. This is Synthwave. If I can do it, so can you.